Order. If I could ask everybody to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Chris Buckman. Here. Brandon Earl.
Here.
Andrea Kreifels. Jason Newberry.
Here.
Deanna Garver.
Here.
Tom Henning.
Here.
Pat Zika.
Here.
Okay, Andrea did contact Adam and she had a commitment, so she couldn't be here tonight, so she made us aware of that. It says on here that I'm absent, but unfortunately
That's
for you
nobody
guys-
else. Nobody else is seeing
I'm
that.
here, so. Okay, next item we have is the adoption of the agenda.
I'll make a motion adoption of the agenda.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same. No patrons or staff, Adam? Room full here. And the one and only item we have for discussion is the 2022-23 school calendar. Adam, you want to start us off?
Sure. Some board members requested this meeting to discuss the end of the school year, the end of the 2022-23 school calendar. And there's been some other districts, Clearwater, Rose Hill, that have decided to go back in and look at their calendar based off of the lack of weather days that we had during the winter. And so I believe that's kind of the what spawned the conversation in the first place. And so we are here tonight to discuss that. In front of you, I put the school calendar and then also where we are sitting as far as hours, both by what is required by state statute and then what we are forecasted to be if we left everything exactly the same. And then the hours per school day that we get per calendar day. Now that is for the high school. We do everything based off the high school because the high school gets out 10 minutes before everybody else. So we just have to make sure if the high school's in good shape, then all the rest of the schools automatically fall in good shape because obviously they get out at 3:10 and then 3:25 for the other schools. So they're always okay versus so the high school, those are actual high school days there. So that is up for discussion this evening.
Okay, who wants to start us off?
Are we looking to, basically last day of school would be that Friday
Correct.
Okay.
One I wouldn't have brought it up just because I was getting people telling me the same things. I mean, I am not opposed to doing that.
How will this affect like the seniors, the high school, or the senior events going on that last week, testing?
So
If
they'll
we
have
were
to
to
change,
move it.
they would change their finals, they would have to change their finals, because that always goes into the last day of school. And so that would be the major thing out there. The seniors, obviously, you could leave them exactly the same if you chose to, so that they get out at the same time, or you could, mess with their schedule, but mainly it would be finals as far as the high school, that would be affected there.
So are we talking like a total slide of everything? So like, for instance, if you have, excuse me, if you have less than X number of absences and your grades are so high, then you don't have to take finals. So
Right. it
are
would
you just
stay-
gonna get out that much even earlier?
Yes. You would. Yeah, I'm assuming there would be a slide of everything. We would let the high school make that decision, but my guess is they would slide everything back if the board chose to.
And seniors are done.
Seniors are done the 17th.
Right.
And if we do it, the Friday's the 19th, if we,
So my 2 cents is, it took us 2 months to pass the 23-24 school calendar. I think there's a lot of work that goes into the calendar. I know I personally and others have fought pretty hard. Fought's not the right word. Worked pretty hard to try to get more contact, more days on the calendar of kids with teachers, because I think that's what we're here for. To try to get more aligned with other districts. We're still not quite there, still got some work to do. But guess I'm personally a little hesitant. Let's give up 2. My 2 cents.
I don't look at it as a permanent thing because that crossed my mind too. you know, because it's gonna happen again. I never really intended to look at it as a person, but I just say, as a, you know, yearly thing that we do,
Precedent.
just, yeah, precedent, that, you know, just kind of looking at it right now, and my first thoughts were just, you know, kind of a
When's the last time that happened?
appreciation.
Has this ever happened before?
Not use snow days?
No.
Oh, yeah, all the
Well, as
time.
far as cutting the school year short for not using snow days.
That is not happening. But I'm aware of it.
So what's the, I agree with what you're saying,
Yeah.
Pat, but what's the reason for doing it this year then?
I don't know, I mean, but first of all, it's because I mean, I was finding that other schools were doing it, and then it just, you know, I think just in good faith for the teachers, the work they do, just something, you know, just a bonus, just a gift.
What about the years past? Do those teachers not hit that mark or
I mean, we mean,
to get the extra 2 days off?
like last year and the year before.
Yeah.
Oh, this is just this year, you know, and in my opinion, but no, you wouldn't retro do anything, because I just see it as a gift this year, you know. If you'd had the snow days and they took it off, they still would be getting paid. And no matter when the last 2 days of school are, they're worthless. Last week, you know,
I hope that's not the case.
it
Well,
is.
my
I mean,
fear,
you know,
saying that, if you slide it back 2 days, then the 2 days before that are gonna be worthless, right? Because
Let's
it's,
hope that's not the case.
it's.
well, I mean, Jason, it just is. I mean, it's not worthless, but I mean, it's hard. I mean, you've been there, Adam. It's not, because state testing's done, and all the testing's done, and you're doing activities, you're doing learning things, but they're just, it's hard to keep the kids under control. To be honest, I mean, I think there's learning done every day, but as far as we're gonna turn to chapter 11 and
So I'm guessing that the activities would still carry on. The activities aren't gonna get cut. It's the learning days that are gonna get cut.
Is there
I
activities
think
still
most
going on?
activities are done.
Do what?
Is there activities still going on then?
Well, I mean, like, you know, at the end of the year, there's always the
Oh.
celebrations
Gotcha.
or whatever. That stuff's still gonna happen. So
Mhm.
we're gonna actually end up trimming the education days.
And that's what I'm saying, if it would get slid to the 19th, then the 2 days before that would become the celebration days. It's my theory.
We sat in negotiations for a long time just trying to get these days back. And I'm kind of with Jason on this one, like reflecting back at the years of negotiations, just trying to get these hours, we just, and I don't even know if are we actually to the day we want? I think we still are not to the,
Pretty
We're
close.
getting
Yeah.
pretty close,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, we've worked hard to get there.
If we set a precedent doing it this, we're gonna have to build extra days into our calendar in case we don't use snow days, so we can give days up, right? I mean, this is starting
Well,
at,
that's what I said. I don't wanna make a precedent of it. It's just, you know, I don't, just a one-time thing, just, I listed a whole bunch of things once, but I don't know what they are. I mean, what do we do for our teachers ever? I mean, we do lots, I don't mean this bad, but we give them a cupcake.
Yeah, I don't see, I mean, it's 2 days. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I don't
what
see
they
a big
said.
issue on a Friday rather than a Tuesday, but.
I'm in agreement with Brandon. Just give them the 2 days as a gift, like Pat said, and let the kids out on Friday, and
Well, it's snow days, they'd be off that day anyway,
Yeah.
those days.
so there would be no education learning on them days anyway.
There's districts that let off for the Super Bowl too. Wish we would have jumped on that one too.
Yeah, I mean, it's like letting off for the state tournament. We could have just let the high school off.
But we did.
We could have just let the high school instead of the whole district. That would have, made a difference. You know, I'm not.
So is
here
that
to
one
blame
day account for one of our Sundays? Those days that we let off?
Yeah, there's really no, I mean, it's kind of
a day.
Yeah, it's a day. I mean,
It's
there's
not
no,
necessarily a snow day.
everybody talks
Correct.
about built-in snow days,
Sure.
but it's actually the teacher's contract that we negotiate. And then usually that's over what the state allows, so there's always that room there based off of that. But really, it's the contract. There's not actual snow days talked about.
So I think several board members contacted Adam and kind of wanted a board meeting, and I agree with that, because the board is the one that, we agreed to the contract with the teachers. So if we're gonna deviate from that contract, then it needs to be a board decision. So that's the reason why I appreciate everybody showing up tonight. Andrea did, she, like I said, she had a previous commitment. So she did kind of send an email that I'm just gonna read it so that you guys know where she stood. She won't be able to vote tonight, obviously, but at least you'll know where her head is. So Adam and I'm fine with the last day of school being on Friday. I wouldn't support the last day of school to be on the Monday. That's pretty silly. I'm also fine with leaving it alone as it is. However, whatever everyone else agrees to, I'm fine, thanks. So that's kind of where it's at. But I thought it was important that you guys at least hear kind of what she was thinking.
I'm kind of on board with you and Deanna as far as working through negotiations to get the contact days, and we just throw them away.
They still get paid for them, right? I mean, they're not,
Yes,
so it's
yes.
like
We
2
would-
free
yeah,
days
we
they're
would
getting.
plan
We're contracted to that.
And my recommendation to the board would do that with classified as well. Because they went in, I mean, they accepted the
Yeah.
position thinking they would get paid for those days.
Any other discussion on it?
Well, I'll make a motion that we allow the teachers to, or the end of the school be for the students Friday, May 19th.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. A little clarification on that. Do we need to change it to where it's not just teachers? Do we just need to say 353 staff? So that everybody.
District.
Chris said students,
Students,
yeah,
yeah.
students on
Students.
Friday, and then that
The
would put the
teachers would
teachers
be
on Monday.
Yeah,
Okay.
so students on Friday, teachers on Monday.
So got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same.
No.
Aye.
Oh.
So we are 3-3. So I believe that would be does not pass.
Correct.
Okay. That is the only item on our agenda. So we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
If I'm incorrect on that, as far as I'm not passing, let me know. I'm pretty sure it's 3-3 ties. So
Okay, yeah, we can look in the book
Not
and make sure.
pass.
I'm pretty sure that's correct.
We can look in the book. We'll send an email out to you.
But
guys
I don't know all that stuff off the top of
What the
my head.
language in there.
You're right.
Russ has a fancy manual, so.
Jason, your solar